Now, Public Affairs Analyst Jide Ojo joins us now to discuss the development in Benue State. Mr. Ojo, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Mr. Jide, I have just 5 minutes, so I'm going to ask you to be summary in your responses here. But let's start by asking what you think President Tinubu's visit to Benue signifies.
Well, what it signifies basically is empathy. It signifies humanity. It signifies governance. When tragedy struck, particularly of this magnitude, it's not sufficient to just send your national security advisor, or you send your chief of defense staff, or chief of admin staff, or inspector general of police. After all, when the president was looking for votes, he went to campaign in all the nooks and crannies of the country, including Benue. And incidentally, Benue State is governed by an APC governor. So it's part of the APC family. And this is APC family that's bereaved. And the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Even you recall that Section 14, subsection 2B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has placed the burden of welfare and security of citizens on the shoulders of the governors and the president, the leaders. It says security and welfare of citizens shall be the primary purpose of government. So the president, as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, owes a duty to show empathy. The last time that of Plateau happened, it was out of the country. And it was National Security Advisor and the IG and the Chief of Defense Staff that went. And people are calling him out now that you can't just be celebrating 2 years of being at the ends of affairs when your countrymen are being slaughtered like Salara. It's so unfortunate that this whole crisis has gone on for over 2 decades. From what I learned, about 25 years, dated back to 25 years, where massacre of this magnitude have been going on repeatedly, not only in Yelwata, but in Agatu, in Gwa East, Gwa West, in Mpadeka, in other parts of the Benue State. And until when you start breaking the culture of impunity, when we start getting arrested, I listened to your correspondent when he said that he hopes the arrest of the perpetrators of the heinous crimes will be made and that they will be brought to justice. Okay. It's this kind of thing where we just lament and then we move on.
Mr. Ojo.
Heinous criminals continue to do what they are doing.
Now, Mr. Ojo, I've got other questions here. Sorry to butt in there. So given that security is actually on the legislative or executive legislative list, how can state governments like Benue be empowered constitutionally or maybe even administratively to respond to such security threats more effectively?
I didn't quite get that.
So I'm talking about security being on the exclusive list. I'm asking how state governments like Benue State can be empowered to respond to such security threats like they've just witnessed effectively.
Well, it's true that security is on the exclusive legislative list. Don't forget that it was argued by late Arakuni Rotimi Akeredolu, the former governor of Ondo State, that yes, it might be on the exclusive list, but the Constitution has also placed the burden of security of the state on the governor, and they have to perform that security, which is why many states have gone ahead to establish vigilantes, and that's inclusive of Benue State. Unfortunately, the funding of these vigilante groups has not been very significant, which is why their impact is not being felt. Recall that it was because of the intervention of the Southern Governors Forum, and then that we have the Amotekun Corps in the 6 southwest states of Oyo, Ogun, Lagos, Ondo, and Ekiti. And you can see how the Amotekun Corps has been able to complement that of police and the armed forces. And that's what the former governor of of Benue State, Samuel Otom tried to do by establishing a vigilante group and also passing anti-grazing law. But the truth of the matter is that while some of this, the perpetrator of this crime will be herdsmen, there are also those who believe that it's all about land grabbing for artisanal mining of the solid mineral in some of these communities. That it's not just about looking for grazing routes or where to graze cattle, that they also have done that some of this can be hinged on those who want to forcefully take land in order to mine the solid minerals in those environments. So, by and large, it's all about the political economy of security and insecurity. So
all right, then, Mr. Jide Ojo. Sorry, like I said from before, I've only got 5 minutes for this session here, but thank you very much for giving us your evening and your input on the situation in Benue State. Thank you.